Hey everyone, this is Fran Mirabella with IGN, and look at this. We have the final retail Xbox 360 right here. We know it's not going to be in stores till November 22nd, but what we wanted to do is get you a little closer to that. We're going to meet you halfway. We're going to break down the hardware a little bit. I want to show you some of the things that I find interesting, and yeah, you're going to watch. We're going to play with it. It's a pretty good deal, so let's get right into it. So when you get the system out of the box, you're going to have one of two things. You're either going to have gone with the core system or the Xbox 360. Now the core system, as it sounds, it's a simple $299 package. You're going to get the console, you're going to get regular standard TV cables, and you're also going to end up with the wired controller. So you really don't end up having the freedom of wireless. And the reason that Microsoft's done this is it's more expensive, and they've, for that reason, created a more expensive package, and it's just called the Xbox 360. Of course, that's the one they want you to buy. Now, a few things that they've done to tempt you into this package, which is more expensive, it's $399, is, well, they blinged out the system a little bit, which is nice. You get this really, really nice chrome finish on the ejection tray. It's little frills like that that go a long way. In addition to that, you're going to get the hard drive, and with that, you're going to get Xbox Live, the ability to download all these different files, backward compatibility. It's really important. You're also going to get the headset, and in addition to that, you'll get the component HD cables, and you're also going to get a remote and the Ethernet. So it's a really great package. The hard drive alone is $100, so you know, you figure if you were to buy that separately, you already should have just bought this package. So it's a really sweet package. All right, so let's take a little closer look at the things you've got going on here. Obviously, the hard drive, which I talked about, is on top here. It's not too big. You get a little extra depth up top here, but it's pretty decent. The system overall is a little, you know, it's a little weighty, but I don't think you're going to be carrying it around in your backpack or anything like that. On the bottom, what you've got here, of course, is the giant power button, which is a very big feature. It's the big 360 to hypnotize you. And on the inside in here, you probably can't quite see it, but there's some USBs in there for controllers. And around back, you have a third USB, and it's also next to the Ethernet port. So you've got a pretty good option of inputs here, but it's a little bulky. You know, they talked about how it's a bit of the idea is that it's a breath in, but the way that they got around that was they sort of took this power brick and put it on the outside, which, you know, it's really nice that they did that. You're still going to have to find a place to hide it. So anyways, it's still a little big. So another thing that I really wanted to talk about was, of course, the controllers and really get into that. Now, of course, the wireless controllers are going to be one of the coolest things, and I'll get into that in a second. But they've really overhauled the controller to be, it's sleek, it's light. They've added some new buttons in back, which they call the bumpers. And they work. I would say, you know, they're trying to be a little bit like the PlayStation 2 controller and keeping it with the Xbox. But it's working. Have to play some more games, we'll see. But largely they kept the same design and just added more functionality. So what you end up with is a controller more for the lazy gamer, basically, is the way I like to think about it. And one of the cool things you can do is hold this button in, and you can actually power your system on if you just hold it in. So it's really great functionality. You can be really far away, turn your system on, and as well, when you're in the middle of a game, you can just shut it off by doing the same thing. So it's, you know, it's a really, really nice feature. And the cool thing about the wireless is that it lasts, you know, a good 40 hours, and it comes with a set of AA batteries, and that's what comes standard, so you're not going to get the rechargeable option. But of course, they do have a rechargeable option. They call it the Play and Charge, and there's a reason for that. So the wireless controller, what you can do is, if it runs out of batteries, and the standard battery that's in here is going to last about 30 hours, Microsoft says. But if it's getting low, if you don't want to switch to the AA's and just want to recharge it, you can just plug it right in there, and you can play it as a wired controller for a while until it charges back up. So it's a really good option. Of course, the problem with that is you're going to pay for it. It's $20 for this option, in addition to the idea that the controller is $50, so that's like 70 bucks. So, you know, you pay for the luxury. I myself, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to buy 4 of them, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'll probably play a lot of stuff on live. Another cool thing with the controllers, if you're worried about battery time, is they go into standby. So lots of really good functionality here. And the distance as well, we've tested it out. It goes like 75 feet. I mean, it's yelling distance. It's plenty far. This brings up an interesting point, though. If you have neighbors and you happen to be syncing your controller at the same time, you could actually end up being on their Xbox. It would be an anomaly. It's probably not going to happen. But if it does, basically you just have to resync up your Xbox. And I want to show you real quick, actually, how you sync that up. When you power on the system, it's going to automatically sync up. But let's say you brought your controller over to your friend's house, you want to sync it up. What you do here is in the front, it has this sync button up top. And you just press that in, and your Xbox 360 is going to say, hey, where's another controller? And then on this one, on the very back, you've got this very tiny little button. And what you're going to do is hold that in, and then this controller is going to start searching for your Xbox 360. So they're going to sync up with each other and talk to each other, and it's really just that easy. So in addition to the regular controllers, in the premium pack, the regular Xbox 360, what you're going to get as well is it's a remote control that you can conveniently surf around between your game blade, your music blade, and all that different stuff to watch movies and anything you have on this. And it's a pretty decent controller. I find it pretty useful, especially if you're going to watch DVDs or something like that. But let's say you want to upgrade it a bit. What you actually are going to have access to for $29.99, yes, more customizing, accessorizing, is the Universal Media Remote. And what that's going to let you do is you're going to get access to numbers on the pad and channel as well. So, you're going to have the ability to watch TV in addition to everything else you can do. So your 360 can really become the center of your home entertainment. As you can tell by now, Microsoft is really big about accessorizing. So, of course, the hard drive is one of the big things that you add on. I mentioned it was $100. In addition to that, though, you've got the faceplates, which are a pain in the neck to get off. I'm actually not that good at it. I'm going to try to show you the trouble that it takes, and success. Not bad. But, I'm afraid that, basically I'm going to break one of my faceplates. I mean, as you can see, it's just... yeah, it's not the easiest thing to use, but that's to get one off. And what I have got, fortunately, are a few faceplates of my own. They're all limited edition, but this is the E3 2005 unveiling faceplate, and as you can see, it would look very fancy on there. In addition to that, I have the X05 faceplate right here, also very nice and fancy. I'm not going to put them on because it's just as much of a pain to put those on, and I don't want to scratch those up. So I'm going to go ahead and put this bad boy back on, and I got to tell you, it's a lot easier to get on than it is to get off. Pretty easy. Next up, one thing I want to talk about for sure is the online play and some additions that they've made with hardware. The headset, of course, is new and improved over the last one. You've got the nice bendy little mic, and it works really well with the controller, pretty much the same way that it did before, but you just plug it in this little slot down there, and it releases. It's got the little microphone mute on it as well. Very easy to use, so if you want to, say nasty things to people, you have that option, whether it's muted or not. So in addition to that, what you've got is the wireless adapter, and this is really, really nice addition. You have to buy it separately, of course, but what it is it's pretty much, it just searches for a local wireless network, and let me show you where that goes. You just plug it in. Oh my, I have to pick this up, I'm going to hurt my back. Right here in back, you can just plug it in right there, and you pretty much just feed this right in to the USB slot, and you just set up your network settings like anything else and find your local wireless router or a neighbor's that you can steal. So it works out pretty well. Next, beyond that, of course, is HD. Everybody's been talking HD. Is it worth it? How's it been performing over here? I would say, yeah, if you have an HD TV, it's great. The clarity of 720p is just really nice to have. An interesting thing, though, is this does 1080i as well, but not natively. So one important point is if you have a 1080i TV, that scales from 720, set your Xbox to 720. Go with the native setting. It's going to look better, even if you can do either setting. So just a little tip. But beyond that, if you have a regular standard definition TV, also what you've got on the I should say the component cables here are a little HDTV switch that you have to switch back to TV if you want it to go into 480i. So make sure you do that. We spent some time searching for that, and it can be a little difficult. There you have it. This is the Xbox 360 retail unit in a nutshell, coming to stores on November 22nd. I'm sure you're anticipating it, and hopefully I've armed you with enough information, at least about the hardware and some of the basic features. There's a lot more about how the tabs work, the blades that is, your gamer card, all this different stuff, and you should definitely check it out on IGN.com. There's just tons of information coming over the next week or so, in addition to all our reviews. So get on there and check it out, and hopefully you enjoyed this.